Hello everyone! Welcome to the first episode of Cooking with Foster, where I, your host, Foster, will be cooking my weekly meals with you guys to show you both how I cook for the week and also maybe some dishes you can learn yourself. The idea behind this is that the meals should be relatively easy for you to replicate while also using somewhat affordable ingredients so anybody can do it, and it'll make your life easier either if you're meal prepping just for yourself or if you want to make something for your family that'll last you for a couple of days. So today, for the very first one, I wanted to start off with something that's pretty easy to work with and is very adjustable depending on what you like, what you don't like, and that is a one-pot pasta dish. So I personally am using a protein pasta, and we will be using Italian chicken sausage with it, but you could use ground beef, you could use ground chicken, you could use regular chicken, just as long as you season it, whatever you want to do with it. It's versatile. Okay. So your first step for this, obviously, you could use a veggie chopper as well if you have one of those, or buy it pre-chopped. I'm just trying to get better with cooking in various different ways, so get your knife nice and sharpened to make it easier with the onion. Dicing onions has always been one of my least favorite parts of cooking, but I've been slowly getting better with it over time and learning the different methods that make life easier. So, to start, once you get your onion open, you want to try and get off as much of the peel as you can. Usually start off by cutting off on that weird side. So one side of your onion cut off, and get as much of the peel off as you can. If you've got a strong enough disposal, you can put it in there. Mine's not the strongest, so I just throw mine in the trash. As long as you remember to take the trash out after you're done, it won't stink up the house too badly. Solid peel job for the first time. Okay, now that you've got your onion peeled, the easiest way that I have learned to dice it is take your knife and through that part that you didn't cut off at the top there, just go straight through down the middle. So that you've got two about equal size halves there. And then from there, you're gonna want to cut vertically along your onion, but not all the way through to the top part. So make slits all the way down your onion as you work your way horizontally through. Now, are you going to get less of your onion out of it if you do it like this as opposed to doing a veggie chopper where you can get every little bit? Yes, but if you get a big enough onion, it's fine if you lose a little bit. Okay, so we cut our slits vertically there. Now you want to go horizontally into your onion. Again, not going all the way through. And you can do it once or you can do it twice, depending on how tall that half of your onion is that you've got. Okay. Now that you've got that, you can just cut straight down. And voila, your onion is diced. Apologies for the random cut. Phone ran out of storage, so I had to clear some space up, but now we're back. What I was going to say was for this second half of the onion, just remember when you're doing those horizontal cuts to cut away from you, so that way you don't have to worry about slicing any important body parts off. cooking with Foster is not liable for any kitchen incidents that occur while you are making recipes. But did our horizontal cut and our vertical cuts. And so now we can dice our onion. And whatever you've got left at the top part after you've diced it, again, disposal or trash can, whichever works best for you. So there's our onion diced. I'm going to put it into this bowl over here just so we can have all our veggies ready to go before we start cooking. I'm one of those people that whenever they're cooking, like to have everything ready to go before I start the actual cooking process, because that way I don't have to worry about trying to balance multiple things at once. Next thing we got is a zucchini to get some green into our dish, and I feel like zucchini always goes well with Italian. So for this, cut off both ends. Be sure to wash it. And then what I like to do is first cut it into rounds. Don't have to all be the same size. Not going to be perfect. And again, I believe you can buy these pre-chopped as well, or make life easier with a veggie chopper. Then from there, you can do a couple different things. You can cut it into quarters, or what I've been doing lately and liking is going into fourths vertically, and then cutting each of those in half, just to get smaller pieces to cook more evenly along with the onions. But again, it's personal preference on the size that you prefer for it. The plan for this channel is that I'll post one video a week. It will likely go up on Sundays because that's the day when I cook, so I'll cook the meal, edit it throughout the week, and get it up the next Sunday. So this will probably be going up May 3rd, I think is next Sunday. Yeah, which is my birthday, so it's a good day to have a first post is on your birthday, right? So the idea behind this channel, or I should say, the people who told me to start this channel, or just start a channel in general, were my students. I am a high school math teacher. This apron was a gift from one of said students, because for some reason I'm Poe from the Teletubbies, so I guess there's worse cartoon comparisons to have, but still. Although aren't Teletubbies like 9 feet tall? I'm only 5'8". I don't think I qualify for that. You'll have to excuse my slow chopping skills. Fine motor skills are not my strong point, but as I do it more and more, I get better and better, just like everything else in life. Just takes some practice. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I can't do that, I've never worked in a kitchen in my life or cooked anything in my life, everybody's got to start somewhere. At least with something like this, the main reason why I like one-pot pasta, or just one-pot dishes in general, is it's less dishes and less maintenance while you're cooking it, so it's a good starter point for any basic chef. Not that I would call myself a chef by any means, but plastic easier. So there's our zucchini done. I'm going to toss that into the bowl with the onion. And then our last veggie that we have to chop at least is a yellow bell pepper. Again, just to get some different color in there. And I find the flavor of a yellow bell pepper goes best with Italian. Like, you could use green or red or orange, but I think the yellow has more of a sweeter blend that goes with the sauce well. So, again, wash your vegetable. Should remove the sticker because we don't need beet in the sticker. And then for this, we're going to cut the top off and the bottom off. If you so desire to, you can pop the top out to get some additional pieces, but I'm not that worried about it. We'll have plenty. And then from there, what I like to do is at the intersections right here, I like to do cuts straight down on each side just to be able to remove that middle while wasting as little as possible of that. So just removes just like that. Plus, it removes the need of having to fight with any seeds that may show up from you trying to remove it any other way. So 3 pieces out. My core has been removed. And then for this, I usually will cut straight down vertically twice and then horizontal for a somewhat smaller cube. And your pieces will vary in size depending on the width of the section of bell pepper you took off. If you want, you can cut it down vertically another time to get it into smaller pieces. And like I said at the start, the nice thing about one pot pastas is they're very versatile. You can add or remove things as you please. So if you don't like zucchini, don't like bell pepper, feel free to omit them and add what you like. Some spinach would go good in here, basil. I've got mushrooms that are already pre-sliced we're going to put in a second as well. Anything of your choosing. And then our last vegetable, we don't have to chop because I already bought them pre-chopped. It's just going to be some white mushrooms. So I'm just going to give these a quick wash. And add them to the bowl with the rest of my veggies. So that's all of my vegetables chopped and ready to go. The last thing that I have to chop is my sausage. So let's get these opened up. And again, you can swap these out for any other meat of your choosing, or you can do no meat if that's your vibe that you like to go with. Let's get scissors. These are already pre-cooked, so I'm just going to brown them after I get the veggies all sauteed. I'm going to get a separate bowl for them. Smells good. I haven't had this kind in a while, but I've always liked this brand, so can't go wrong. And this package, just like your onion remnants, make sure the trash goes out after you're done cooking, because otherwise, your house is not going to smell good, no matter how strong of an odor repellent trash bag you have. like I said earlier, fine motor skills. Okay, who's winning here, Foster? You or the sausage? The answer was me. Would have been bad if I lost to the sausage. Okay. I bought 2 packages just because I'm trying to increase protein as much as possible to become full Swilio Iglesias. But 1 package would probably be just fine for this amount. Each package is 12 ounces, so I'm getting 1.5 pounds with 2 packages. Yep, here we go. So for the sausages, I'm going to kind of do it like I did the zucchini, except I'm just going to cut it into quarters after I get the rounds. So nice thing about this sausage too is because it's pre-cooked, there's no casing to have to fight with. So this is 1 sausage done worth of sausage. I'll see you all once I got the rest of them chopped. All right, we're back. Sausage is chopped. There's quite a lot of it. It's even taller than the veggies. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna prep is my sauce. And by prep, it's really just, mixing. I have a Parmesan and Romano pasta sauce, store brand jar. You could make your own if you want to, but I find the jar sauce works just well enough. So I'm going to put all of that into this bowl, or as much of it as I can at least. Yeah, it smells good. Haven't had this one. I don't think I've had this sauce before, but I've had other ones of that brand, and they're good. And then I'm going to take a tub of cottage cheese and put it in here as well. This is to, 1, get some more protein, and 2, cottage cheese just goes well with Italian. It's like a cheaper version of ricotta, essentially. And then if you are a texture person and you don't like the texture of cottage cheese, which is me personally most of the time, what you can do is either get one of these, an immersion blender, or just a regular blender works well too. I'd just rather use this because it's easier to clean this than it is to clean an actual blender. And then I'm just going to mix these together, or blend them together. Once that's all done, should look like this. It's got a nice orange hue to it, and there's none of that cottage cheese chunks left. So now everything's prepped. Time to start cooking. Here we go. So for our cooking, I've got skillet that wide, that deep. You could use a metal pan as well, like a deep metal pot as well, to make life easier, not have to worry about overflowing. But I just like this because it's non-stick, so it makes life easier. Going to add in some olive oil to my pot. And then we're going to go on medium heat for sauteing the veggies. Let me back you guys up a bit just to give you a little better view. There we go. So once that heats up, we're going to go in with all of our veggies and some garlic, as I call it. Just minced garlic. Easier than having to fight with peeling and mashing garlic together. Okay, so all of our veggies are going to go in there. Then we're going to saute them for a few minutes until the onions, like you can start to smell them more and they become a little more translucent. And then we'll go from there. In with the veggies. Pan wasn't quite hot enough yet, but that's okay. You could also, instead of olive oil, use like an avocado oil or a seed oil of some sorts if you want something with a higher smoke point so that your olive oil doesn't evaporate when you're cooking it. There we go. So again, we're sauteing this until the onions start to get a little translucent. So I'll see you back after that happens. When you get to about this point, say you're about there, your onions are looking clearer than they were before. It's also softened up a bit everywhere. So now, I'm gonna add my garlic in to let that cook for a little bit. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. I like garlic, so I usually do about a heaping spoonful's worth in there. Now we're just going to stir that in, let that cook for about another minute or two just to get that garlic flavor into everything. Now that the garlic's cooked down, give it one last stir. And I'm now going to bring back that bowl that we had our veggies in before. And I'm going to transfer them back into that bowl. And now we're going to go into that pan with our sausage just to get that browned up and delicious. Might need to transfer to a bigger pot with how much sausage I got. Hey, that rhymed. Yeah, I'm just gonna prepare that pot now. So, not technically one pot, because I'm having to use the second pot, but it's one pot if you pick the right size the first time around. gonna brown this for a few minutes, and then I'll come back to you once I get everything transferred into that pot, and we're ready to start the last process. All right, so now that my sausage has some good color on it, I'm gonna transfer my other pot to that burner, and in it is going to go my veggies, my sausage, and then my sauce mix. Be sure to scrape the bowl so you can get as much of it out as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then lastly, my noodles. And then once all of that is in there, go ahead and stir it all together. Making sure that you scrape the bottom of your pan so you get all your veggies in, all mixed in, so nothing gets stuck on the bottom or burnt. And once that is all combined, like so, you're going to go ahead and cover it, and then let it go for as long as it says on the box for your noodles to cook. Obviously that will vary depending on noodle type, but this kind tells me 11 to 13 minutes. So we're gonna call it 12 minutes. I'll see y'all in 12 minutes. All right, so it's all done. A couple things. One, I forgot to mention, if you're using a non-stick pan, or pot, I should say, then you will have to stir it throughout, especially like get something like a metal spoon to scrape the bottom, because I had some of mine get stuck and get a little burnt, but that's okay. I also had to let it go longer than it called for because of that stirring, so it actually ended up going for about 15 minutes, give or take, but turned out pretty good. If we see here, looks pretty decent. So now I'm just gonna divide it up into my 6 servings for the week. I usually make on Sunday and then eat it through Friday, and then Saturday I'll go out to eat, or if I have some extras left over, then I'll just eat that. But let's get it all divided up now. I just bought these containers. I was just putting it all into a 9x13 Pyrex pan before, but that was leading to the Pyrex pan and lid stinking from just having the food sit in there all week, so. Start off with just filling the small portion in each package and then go from there. I don't think I need the oven glove, but can't hurt to have it, right? Actually, why not? YOLO. This would definitely be a great fall dish to make too, because I'm already sweating just while serving it, but pasta's good all year round, in my opinion. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have plenty to fill all 6 of these, at least in the one portion. I'll probably put like maybe like some carrots, baby carrots, or like some form of bread in the smaller portion of the container, just to have a little side to go with it. It's hard to have Italian food without additional carbs. This is going to be a pain to wash because that stuff that got burnt onto the bottom, but it is what it is. Not trying to be perfect here, just trying to get it started. There's going to be growing pains in any process with a new recipe. And here we have our completed product. 6 total meals. Like I said, put some baby carrots or bread in there. But I would like to thank you all for joining for the very first episode of Cooking with Foster. Please let me know in the comments what I could do better, what went well. I'm definitely open to feedback so that I can make this better and more available for everybody. I will put this recipe down in the description down below and in the pinned comment as well, so you can check there if you want to make this for yourself. Have a great day, everybody.